Welcome to Monet Cafe, my beautiful artistic friends and subscribers and patrons. And my voice might be a little raspy because I literally got up at 5 in the morning to do this video. I'm going to be doing a tutorial where I will be creating a painting and reviewing this luscious, gorgeous Shades of Nature set from Terry Ludwig Pastels. And a big thank you to joshwoodward.com, who provides this lovely music for free and for our listening pleasure here in Monet Cafe. Now, this particular video will be available on the Monet Cafe YouTube channel, but also on my Patreon page, where there will be extra content. My patrons support this channel, and I always try to give them a little extra. So if you'd like to become a patron, you can do so at the link above for only $5 a month. All right, so I created 3 paintings. You saw the first one, the second one, this is the third one that I all did primarily using this Shades of Nature set. And I had shared this little video clip on Instagram showing literally how close my living room is to my art studio. My house is pretty small, so that's why I do these voiceovers, because my TV and my art studio are so close. All right, so let's check out the Shades of Nature set. This was literally the first time that I was using this. I had looked at it. I bought it as a Christmas present for myself, and I just haven't had a chance to use it until now. Now, it does have a lot of golds. You see that. It has very few greens. And real quickly here, I wanted to compare it to another set I got that is called the Umber Shadows and Shades. Now, this set is a little bit darker in value. Notice it also has a lot of the golds. It has a couple more of the warmer greens and some teals and a little purple, like a gray neutral purple. I really liked getting these sets because it kind of broke me out of my traditional colors that I use, and I think that's always great to do. I was just showing there, make sure when you fill in this little color reference chart they give you that you do it correctly. I was showing how if you get the chart out of the box and you don't refer back to it, you could actually do it upside down. So I got on the website to check and make sure I was doing this right side up. It's a very good idea to do these charts. Colors often look a little different when you apply them than they do just sitting in the box. So this is the reference chart, and also what I do a lot of times is convert it to grayscale. This way you can see the values even more clearly. All right, here we go. I'm just doing a little kind of a preliminary sketch on just a little piece of paper. I had it too short, so I made it longer. This is a new pastel I'm using, NU Pastel. They're harder pastels. They're great for little sketches like this. And I think it's always a good idea to do this. I don't always do a preliminary sketch, but I do recommend it if you have the time and you can do it. So I'm just sketching it in, and again, this is just regular drawing paper, but it works fine for something like this. You don't have to waste a piece of expensive paper. And also too, notice how you can just blend these with your fingers. What I'm doing is I'm getting a general composition and a value study. So this helps me to work out any compositional issues prior to committing to the painting. Now, I am going to apply some of the Shades of Nature pastels to this, and again, this is regular paper, so it's not going to apply like it will to the sanded surface. It's going to be more flat, but it still gives me a general idea, values, things like that. Plus, I was just enjoying using these. I've never even used them before after opening the box, so this was kind of fun. So anyway, finish up this little preliminary sketch and get started with the painting. Oh, and I also wanted to give credit for this beautiful reference photo from Annette Meyer-Atkins. She's in our Facebook group, and I will be providing this reference photo in my Patreon group for you to have access if you want to recreate this painting. For this painting, I'm using a sheet of UArt 400 grit sanded paper. And I often, and the sheet, I think it came in one of the pads. It's like a 9x12 pad, but I wanted to do a standard size, and I have this mat that the outer perimeter of the mat is an 8x10. So that's why I'm marking it off. I usually like it when I can mark it in the middle, but that was a 5x7 in the middle. So anyway, I've got my 8x10 dimensions to work from, and I'm going to be doing an alcohol underpainting. I'm doing a quick sketch in pencil. I don't often use pencil. I usually use a little harder pastel to sketch something in, but hey, I just had a pencil laying here, so it worked. Again, I'm going to be doing an alcohol underpainting or wash that I love. I forget how much I love this technique, and you're going to see how I do that in just a minute. Let me speed this up. Okay, so for this alcohol wash underpainting, I'm doing it only with the one value and one color of the harder new pastel. And I'm kind of basically doing the same thing I did with the little preliminary sketch. But for this particular alcohol wash underpainting, I am only using the one color, and I suggest that if you haven't done these or this technique before, using the one color works great. Basically what you're doing is you're getting a value study, and it's nice to have, first of all, it's nice to have the surface of the paper covered to get rid of all of that white or creamy color that's on the UART paper, and it gives a nice loose painterly feel, and you've already kind of got your basic values established. So those are some of the advantages for doing an underpainting. And I happen to really love an alcohol wash underpainting. And by the way, you can do it with water or alcohol. I like using alcohol. I think it behaves a little differently, but it also dries faster. So that's my main reasoning for that. So anyway, the neat thing is I don't have to cover up the whole paper with this new pastel, because that's what the wash is going to do. Now, here is the alcohol that I'm using. It's just from Walgreens. I know they make different percentages of alcohol, but this 91% one, you know, I just had it, and so it works great. I need some brushes, of course, and also some paper towels. I wipe my brush off if I get too much alcohol on it. So I just put a little splash of alcohol in a little container, and then I just gradually start working. I usually work the darker areas like the trees and the really dark grasses and things first, and then I gradually start letting the alcohol and the remaining pastel that's on my brush to kind of drip down to create like a wash, and get the values. Now, if you've watched my videos before, I like to point out that things that are vertical are typically darker in value. Notice those grasses on the side of the little stream there, they're vertical, so they're darker. The trees are vertical, so they're darker, and things in the foreground are typically darker in value than things in the background. So that's why those foreground grasses, they just add gradually, as I move closer to the foreground, things start to get darker. So as you can see here, and I just kind of let some of the stuff drip down into the water there too. So you got kind of a neat little water idea going on there. And sometimes I would use a bigger brush to get those grasses in there, but I just went ahead and worked with what I had. I mean, it was just an underpainting anyway. So you can see that's kind of the general beginnings of an underpainting. So again, if you want to try this one color, one value technique to create multiple values is really a great way to do this. Alrighty, now this is the end of the commentary for the Monet Cafe version of this video tutorial. If you would like the full extended version with the commentary from this point on, I give a whole lot of instruction on the painting from here forward. You can become a patron of mine for only $5 a month. You can cancel at any time, but as always, you can just hang out here in Monet Cafe too, and we learn a lot here as well. So enjoy the rest of this video and hang out until the end for some more announcements. Okay, so I really enjoyed using this set, primarily the Shades of Nature set. I'm going to use it again for sure, and as you probably saw at the beginning of the video, I did use it. In that same day, I did 2 additional paintings. I recommend, if you get the time, if you can squeeze it in your life, to paint a lot. I mean, if you can do a few paintings in one day, I think you'll find that each painting that you do gets better. So here's the final, and I did turn on my nice studio light that was purchased because of my support from my patrons, so thank you guys for that. And these last 2 paintings are the additional paintings I did using primarily this set, and I will be uploading tutorials on each of them very soon. By the way, you don't have to have the Shades of Nature set to do a paint along with these video tutorials. Just use what you have. Okay guys, this was a blessing for me to be with you, and happy painting.